Pick up. Pick up, pick up, pick up. Yes. Hi, Amazon. Yes. Hey, this is Michael Robertson Jr. Yeah, I write the Lance Brody series. Oh, very cool that you know who I am. Right, yeah. So today I logged into my account and I had a bunch of coins start popping up. I think they're from readers. Right. And they seem to be asking for parts of the story. Right. Oh, so they're called tokens, not coins. Okay, sure. So what's going on here? So they give me tokens and I give them pieces of a story, but not the whole thing. Right. And if they give me more tokens, I give them more of the story. Okay. And how long does that go on? Until they get tired of reading. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Right, yeah, I guess I better write a good one then, huh? Okay. Well, thanks. I guess that clears everything up. Sure. Yeah. All right. You too. Bye. Tokens. What am I, an arcade game?
Hello everyone, Michael here, and today I'm really excited to talk to you about something brand new that Amazon has been talking about behind the scenes with authors that I think is really exciting and could be really, really big. You guys probably know that a few years ago, Amazon rolled out Kindle Unlimited for their ebook store, and this was essentially their Netflix of ebooks. As a reader, you could pay Amazon a flat monthly fee and then get unlimited reading for all of the ebooks that were in the Kindle Unlimited library. And that library, which was pretty good to start with, has just grown over the years, and now there are just thousands and thousands of really good books available to read as part of that subscription. Readers love it. Amazon has kind of tweaked this system over the years, fixing some bugs and cracking down on some people that were trying to exploit it and kind of scam the system. And we're kind of on version probably like 3 or 4 right now, and it's definitely in the best shape it's ever been in. And it's a great tool both for voracious readers and for authors trying to get their work into the hands of readers. Case in point, on most months, Kindle Unlimited revenue actually is making up, if not half, sometimes more than half of my ebook revenue from Amazon on most months. So it's a huge platform, it's highly successful, and readers really do love it. So now, fast forward all these years later, Amazon is not resting on their laurels. They are announcing something new, and I think that it has the potential to be just as big, if not bigger, than Kindle Unlimited. Now, they haven't given us all the details yet. It's still kind of just being doled out behind the scenes to us authors, but the brand new program is called Kindle Vella. It's very interesting, and here's what we know so far. So the first thing that's new about Kindle Vella is this is going to be an entirely separate section of the Kindle online store and also the Kindle mobile apps on like iPhone, iPad, or whatever mobile device that you're using. I haven't seen anything that has specifically said that it'll be available on just your regular traditional Kindle e-readers, but that wouldn't surprise me if they made it available, but I haven't seen anything that's actually confirmed that. The second thing that's really, really interesting and probably the most fascinating part about Kindle Vella is that this is a platform that is being entirely dedicated to serialized fiction. Meaning the stories that authors are publishing are going to be available to readers in small, bite-sized episodes. Episode word count can range from 600 to 5,000 words. So there is varying length per episode, I guess, depending on how big the author's story is overall, but there's always going to be broken down into smaller chunks. Now, as a reader, you have the ability to read the first 3 episodes completely free. This is essentially the equivalent of the ebook sample that you would get from the regular Kindle store. And after you read those first 3 episodes, if you want to keep reading the story, keep reading future episodes, you're going to use tokens to buy and unlock those future episodes to keep reading. So Amazon is essentially going to be selling readers bundles of tokens that they can then use to spend as digital currency to unlock more things that they want to read. Now, they haven't provided us with any of the finalized information in terms of pricing, but based on the preliminary data that they've showed us already, the bundles of tokens are definitely going to be very, very economical. I don't foresee this being anything where Amazon is going to price out certain readers to not be able to continue. It's all going to be about in line with what you would expect to pay with other digital reading content online from any other store, which I think is a good thing because they definitely need to make it accessible, especially in the beginning, to generate interest. The next thing that I think is really cool, and I wish that they would do more things like this when it came to the actual Kindle ebook store, is some of the new features that they're adding for reader engagement. For example, readers are going to have the ability to favorite their favorite story each month, and then Amazon is going to aggregate that data and basically prominently display somewhere on the Vella homepage the top favorited books of that month. In addition to favoriting stories, readers also have the ability to give a thumbs up or basically a like to certain episodes within a story that are the ones that they really like or their favorites, so to speak. So I'm actually really interested in that because I think as a writer, I'd be really fascinated to see if I had a 5-episode story, why maybe some users were giving a lot more thumbs up to some episodes versus the other, and figure out how I can write more content like that. So it could be a really good metric to base the strength or at least the engagement of your writing when it comes to that perspective. And then one final thing is that at the end of every episode, there is going to be space for an author's note where the author can provide additional information about maybe what went into writing a particular episode, or maybe tease out some episodes to come, whatever they want to put. I also always really like author's notes, like at the end of novels and stuff like that. I've always been really interested in them, kind of getting a peek behind the curtain of the author's process or the brain, even if it's just something as simple as who they're thanking for helping them. I always read them, and I think you should always read them too. So that is like the simple, most basic way to explain what we've learned so far from Amazon about the new Kindle Vella program, at least functionally. But now I'm going to tell you a few reasons why I think that this platform has the potential to be really, really big. The first and most obvious thing here is that Amazon is not inventing serialized fiction. A lot of websites have been doing this for a long time, and some of them have gotten really big. Places like Wattpad have been growing their users all the time. People really seem to enjoy interacting and engaging with stories on that site. And then if you even go back to the way that some traditionally published novels even came into existence, like The Martian by Andy Weir, he started writing that as episodes on his own website, basically as a blog, and eventually it turned into what we now know and love as the Martian novel. So this is not something new. This is just, I think, Amazon taking all of the tools and resources that they have in the ebook world and now applying it to another very popular type of fiction, which makes it really exciting. Another reason that I think Kindle Vella has huge potential is because for the very first time, Amazon is going to be normalizing and bringing to the forefront a type of fiction that historically has not done very well on the Kindle store, and that is your shorter fiction. Whether you're talking about short stories or novellas, for some reason in the past, if those works were not included as part of a collection or an anthology, they just haven't done well. Readers have not seemed to show much interest in shorter fiction. So I'm really hoping that with the way Amazon is building out Kindle Vella, that will change. Because honestly, short fiction, just like short stories or short films rather, they're very powerful. They're very effective forms of storytelling, and they're very difficult to pull off correctly. But when you do, they're really, really good and really, really fun. Another thing about Kindle Vella that I think is going to be enticing for readers goes back to the tokens and just the overall cost of the platform. And I think one area that is going to have a really big advantage is that low entry level cost to get into a story. Now, one of the biggest things that I think sometimes can be a problem with buying regular ebooks from the Kindle store, or just any book in general, even in physical form, is that on the Kindle store, let's just say you download the sample of a book and you read it and you enjoy it and you say, okay, I want to buy this book. You spend anywhere from $5 to $15 to download that ebook. And then maybe you read the next half of the book or even the next quarter, and then something just stops clicking. Maybe the story isn't as engaging as you thought it was going to be. Maybe the writing style just fell flat for you. Whatever it is, now you really don't have much interest in this book anymore. But you feel obligated to keep reading it because you already spent all this money on the product. Kindle Vella kind of eliminates that problem because you're only going to keep paying to unlock future episodes as long as you want to keep reading. So you're never going to have that buyer's remorse, so to speak, of having spent X amount of dollars only to realize you no longer want to read this thing. Which also means that authors now have a big responsibility, or at least need to be conscious about how engaging their stories are, because for the very first time, now readers are only going to continue to unlock episodes and continue to read your work if it continues to be engaging. So I think that almost puts some added pressure on authors. Pressure is the wrong word, but it definitely should make them more aware about writing the tightest stories they can write to fit this platform. Before I wrap this up, I do want to touch on one final thing that's more of a technical feature that I think could actually bring in or even usher in an entire new wave of readers that have maybe never touched the Kindle store before. And that is your teenager/young adult age readers. Now, historically, I don't know what the actual reason for this is. I've seen a lot of guesses in the data. But for some reason, younger readers just don't do much with ebooks. They're still reading physical books, if they're reading at all these days. But what they do have are cell phones and iPads. They're used to tablets and apps. They're used to microtransactions and in-app purchases and stuff like free-to-play games on their phone or on their tablet. The way that Amazon is positioning Kindle Vella's digital currency and the way that you buy and unlock stories fits the mold perfectly for all these other apps and games that young adult people have been using for years on their smart devices. So if Amazon can figure out a way to market this correctly, make it seem fun and engaging, and appeal to that younger generation of readers, they could be ushering in a brand new wave of people, again, like I said, who have never touched the Kindle store, and maybe create a whole new love of reading for a demographic where reading is becoming less and less of a pastime. So for me, that is a really, really exciting prospect, and I can't wait to see what happens with it. Okay, guys, that's it. That's all I have about Kindle Vella. I am, again, personally really excited about it. I have an idea for a story that I want to publish on the platform to kind of test the water, see how it goes. I will definitely keep you guys updated on how that works. And let me know in the comments down below what you think about Kindle Vella. Do you think it's going to be big? Do you think it's going to flop? Are you excited to try it out, whether you're an author, whether you're a reader? Let me know. I'm fascinated by it. I would love to know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, I would greatly appreciate if you could hit that thumbs up button down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will definitely see you guys in the next one. Bye.